Selling ecstasy to a confidential informant? Say it ain't so, Stork. Say it ain't so. That couldn't have ended well. Well, it didn't, but let me just explain the situation a little bit, alright? And, yeah. First things first, I just want to say thank you for everybody who supports my channel, likes my videos, and everything. I enjoy making these as well, and I'm trying to make them shorter and still give good detail in them. So, yeah. And second thing is, if you could please hit the subscribe button, I'd really appreciate it. Not looking for no donations, no money, no anything. Just a little subscription just helps me feel better about telling my stories. I got some big stuff in the works. So, anyways, let me get back to this story, okay? I'm gonna get right into it. So, this took place in January of 2009, and I can pinpoint it like that very well because it was right in the small window of time. I was at North High, and I was only at North High from like October to like January of between '08 and '09. So this happened right in between that time. Okay, so basically what was going on is I was at North. Okay, I had a friend who also got kicked out of West. I forget what he did, but his name was Andrew, and he ended up getting sent to North. I think because we were in different grades, they didn't look to see that we were kind of like affiliated or whatever, because he was like my really good friend. So we even had a class together, and he would call me like he didn't have a first period. He would call me in my English class, and like I was never paying attention. So he would be like calling me, and I would pick up my phone. He'd be like, "I'm at McDonald's," and I would be like, "Get me a McGriddle," like all under my desk. But anyways, so he ends up at my school somehow. So it was actually, it kind of sucked because I had already like been made my moves that like I was already gonna be like going to Redondo or whatever. But I don't think he stuck around for that long. He didn't stick around for that long anyways. Actually, this story will prove that. So him, like, he comes to that school, and he tries to make some friends that are in his grade because like I said, I'm a year younger. And so he makes some friends, and he ends up meeting this guy who, like, he sells ecstasy. And I went over to his house one time. I didn't like it. His mom was very, very rude and very like throat, like cigarette throat, like yelling, just like it, just the vibe, just like, it was just, if you could see the look on my face right there, like it just was not a place that I wanted to really go back to. So what my friend was doing was he was taking pills from this kid. Not a lot, but he would just take like 3 or 4, and he already had somebody lined up that like was getting them. So I mean, it's free money at the end of the day because he's not paying for the product. So he's like doing that, like kind of not very consistent, just every once in a while. Like he was a very paranoid person. He wasn't the type of person that liked to like have something for a long time or anything. Like he just was very paranoid. Like if anything, he had that shit lined up before he even touched it. You know what I mean? Like he just did not want to even have it for a second. And it's a good thing he was like that, and you'll see why. So I also had another friend who is in all my stories, and his name's Eric. And he was also, doing that too at the same time. And I don't know, all right, I almost got ahead of myself. So he ends up like also selling to that same guy, okay? And that guy, like, we're gonna call him Ashton, okay? I'm not gonna use his real name because he's a piece of shit rat motherfucker that like people will know who I'm talking about. But I'm gonna call him Ashton, very close to his real name. So I just don't want to give him even the fucking light of day. All right. So apparently that fool, there was a time that I think this is really what made the difference was my boy Andrew. He like had multiple dealings with this guy, and he told me like the story like on the lowdown that like I think one of the last times or maybe a couple times or something, that guy brought a friend with him that like he didn't say he was gonna bring or anything. Like no one's ever even done that, ever even tried to do that to me before, but it just sounds so strange. Like it sounds so strange. And that's how out of like his league my friend was, you know, that he wouldn't like see that as a red flag or something. So that's really what it was that like, you know, because my other friend like he just did it straight to the actual like confidential informant or whatever. So there really wasn't like a witness because the guy that his friend, that my friend Andrew had, was like the supplier for, his friend sold or wore a wire. So like they had him on that, and they didn't have my friend Eric on that. But he was tripping. Like trust me. Like he that's like those are two of like my best friends like at the time specifically. And like I can remember like my homie Eric being like, dude, like they're like almost got ahead of myself. So one day, school, North High, I'm in the 10th grade, and all of a sudden the police show up to the school, and they show up and they're like in like they're mobbing deep, and I see them go to the corner of this like hallway that I actually had a class in, and I see they pull my friend Andrew out of his class, and they're frisking him up against the wall, and they put his hands behind his back, and they take him out of the school. So they take him out of the school, and they proceed to go to his house, and they raid the shit out of his house, like literally tear everything like upside down. And like he has a pretty big house, like not tall but like wide, I guess you could say. And the really messed up thing is his grandpa was probably like at least like 90, and they put his grandpa in handcuffs, dude. Like it's like so, and his dad, but like still like it just seems so unnecessary, you know. So like it's just like funny that like that it's such a waste of resources, like if they only like knew. Because the way like I told you he was doing it, he was literally like he was in possession of them for like not even a day, you know. So they toss his whole house, and I think all they found was like a pack of cigarettes, you know. And at the time, like we're like I think that was the only thing they could like try to charge him with, but I think they ended up like dropping it completely just because it was so little in comparison. Like it's like really you raided somebody's house for a pack of cigarettes. Like I could definitely see like how that would not be like seen as cool, you know. So anyways, that guy like he set up a couple more people. Like it came out that like he was a straight up informant, he was a snitch, and he tried to get a couple other people. He did get a couple other people, didn't get me, that's for goddamn sure. And yeah, that's how that story went down. My other homie skated scot free, and my boy Andrew, dude, like I didn't see much of him after that. He definitely didn't like that was his last day at that school, so it didn't matter that I was leaving schools, and things definitely changed from that point. But that was 10th grade, like not like halfway through 10th grade, something like that. So anyways, feels good to tell a story like this again. I know it's been a minute. Thank you if you're still rocking with me. And yeah, I'm going to keep throwing up the shorts, doing these videos. I'm just going to keep it coming. So thank you, and I hope you guys have a nice day. Peace.